Hi, I'm Tasha from Natasha Swan Ceramics and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about throwing some bowls. I'm going to do some turning and decorating as well. I made a video yesterday and I had a bit of a dilemma. My head was chopped off, so second time lucky. Instead of showing you the whole process from start to finish, I'll just focus a little bit more on the turning and decorating this time. And then my next video I will do a bit more on the throw-in and how I set up to get ready for throw-in. So make sure to subscribe if you like my video, and if you have any questions just give me a shout and I'll try to help out. Thanks and enjoy today's bowl workshop. Last week I did a video that was not very well shot, so apologies. I think I'll just have to keep doing them in portrait mode because they're on my phone and I can't record them very well to fit everything in landscape. So this week I will follow on from last week's bowls. Going to throw a couple more this morning really quickly, and then I'm going to move on to turning and decorating the bowls from last week, and then you'll get a bit of an idea of how the whole process comes together. So again, if you like my video, please subscribe, and if you have any questions just let me know, and yeah, enjoy watching how these bowls are made. And tune in next week, I will probably be making some little milk jugs. Okay, so I'm still with the same amount of clay. I'm going to pop it on, do the sintering, open it out, and making the bowl. The pointer and everything's already been set up, so it should be a little bit quicker to get going this morning. So my clay is quite firm because I had weighed out extra last time I was making these bowls and they'd been sitting a while, so it's probably going to take a bit longer to do the sintering process, but I'm just squeezing it in, up and down, trying to smooth it all out. It's pretty firm, but it should be okay. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's nice and round. I can start to open out the base, pushing into the centre, pulling out, got a nice scoop back to bowl shape. And I'm going to start to make the walls at the side. So just squeezing them in and lifting up. Try not to jam your finger the whole way through when you're making something like I nearly did. And again. Okay, so double check with my pointer. I have my mirror set up at the side so I can see into it. So it's quite a good thing that my clay is so firm whenever I'm making a bowl, because I want it to be nice and strong when I'm stretching it and flaring it out like that. If it's really soft, it probably wouldn't stretch as well. Be a bit harder to control, so this actually worked out fine. Just taking the water out from the inside, and I'll give it a clean up and see if we can get it to come a bit closer to the pointer at the side. Just wetting the inside so that my fingers don't stick to the bowl when I'm pushing it out, and then I'll take all that water back out again. Make my rim nice and round and strong. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. That's fine. It's a little bit taller than the pointer, but that's the first one I've thrown today, so I'll just not stretch the next one as far. Give it a little tidy, and I can pop that one off. and do another one. Okay, so there's another bowl. Okay, so we're going to do this one in double time, just to par through it. Here I'm centering the clay, so I'm just lifting it up, squeezing it back down, trying to make sure it's really round and centered so the rest of it goes quite smoothly. Who knows what rubbish I'm actually talking about here? I can't really remember. Next up, I'm opening out the base, so I'm squeezing down and stopping before I hit the bottom, and then I'm compressing the base and making sure that it's nice and even and scooped towards the wall. I'm lifting the walls up and I'm trying to do it in 3 pulls. So the first one's like a guide pull, and then I've got 2 more. I'm going to lift the walls, squeezing harder at the bottom, lifting them up towards the pointer, and I want it to come just above the pointer because when I start to widen it out, it will actually drop down a bit in size as it gets wider. So I'm just taking some water out, making sure the inside's nice and smooth. You don't want a bowl that's got a hard edge. You want something that it just follows the shape on the inside and is something that you would like to eat out of as well. So I'm just finishing up the shape here, making sure that it matches the pointer. And then when I'm happy with the shape, I can go over it with my little kidney. This is a little blue kidney from Mud Tools that I use all the time. It's like probably the most one that I use. Once I'm happy with that, I'm able to take it off the wheel and ready for the next part. We're going to get decorating. Okay, this is Bamse, the pottery dog. She's pretty cute, pretty naughty, pretty fluffy and ginger, but who else would I rather have in my pottery than this little rascal? So I think now that I've washed my hands, I will actually I'll stop throwing. I had 2 more to throw, but I will just leave them and do them another time, and I'll show you a little bit on turning the bowls that we made last week, and I can get them ready to decorate. So I'll leave her to go play in the garden. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, definitely you want to subscribe now, don't you? Okay, so I've tidied just the bat off my wheel, and I'm going to turn some of the things that I threw earlier on. So I'm just going to grab my turning tools, which over here. Okay, so I have this new one from Mud Tools, a little bit dirty. It's the one that I use all the time, and then I've got this one that's going to be straight side on it. It was just a cheap one I actually think I got it when I was in China, but it's quite good, it's really sharp. So I'm going to grab my bowls that we made last time. They've been wired off the bat, and to put them on the wheel I just use a little bit of water. So spin it round, set it on, and it's like tap centering where you have to try and get it into the middle. So I just keep my hand on the side and a little bit of pressure. It's the same as throwing, you can just feel where the bumps are, and I'm just squeezing it and it'll glide through my hands, and it's now in the center, so that's perfect. I'm going to push down and make sure it'll stay there. I also use a little jam jar lid sometimes. If I can find it, it should be in my little pot. So this is just a regular jam jar lid, and I'll use that to keep on the top. Just that wee bit uneven there. And then it means that my fingers aren't pushing in one place. The pressure's sort of pushed out a little bit, and that should help as well. So I'm just going to turn these into probably just a bit wider than the size of the jam jar. I don't want the base to be too wide or to be too narrow, and my bowl will be unstable. So I'm just going to trim it off. And my bowl is literally just sitting on top of the wheel. I don't have anything, I'm not using anything to keep it in place. Just that little bit of water helps it bind on, and then pushing down, and the speed as well. So all of that will just keep it where it should be. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that size. Don't want to go too much smaller, so I'm going to just trim in the sides and make sure it's all neat. I'll use this bigger tool, a bit more surface area to take off, to try and keep it fairly straight. Once I've got the sides done, I'll go in and do the middle. So I'm going to start from the center, pushing in out towards the edge, and then I'm going to do a little bevel on the edge. and that will be me. So I'm going to go over it with a bit of a sponge just to take out any rough marks and clean all of this off the wheel, all of the shavings off. And I can pop it off, it should come off okay. Perfect, so that's one little bowl done. I'll just grab my slips and some paintbrushes and we can do some of that. So there are going to be like greens and pinks and blues and oranges, the same as my Sort of Seaside range, and they'll look really well once they're all together and so good for photographing as well. A few different brushes that I like to use. I use this brush all the time, I've had it for ages, and then this one, it's just a good length and you can get quite a good bit of slip on it. So I'll start first of all with the pink one. So I'll just take that same bowl back, it's nice and clean here. I'm going to clean the rim. Set it in the middle. So I have all my slips already mixed up. They're just big buckets. This was a peanut butter top, by the way. I have ate so much peanut butter. I don't know whether to be proud or ashamed of that, but Walworth peanut butter is so good, so it's really easy to eat this much. I'm just going to give it a little mix up and then I can paint it on. So I'm just going to stir some in. It's quite a gloopy consistency. I don't want it on too thick, but then you want it thick enough to cover, so it just takes a bit of practice to see what you like. Okay, so I'm going to just band around the edge here. And it's roughly the width of the brush, so that's pretty straightforward. Then that way they're all roughly the same as well, because it's just the width that the brush will span out to. And then I'm going to do the same little band on the inside as well, so I'll need to make sure that the top is covered and then down into the inside. The rim is the bit that's hard, I think, to try and make sure it's really well covered. I can see the little white bits shining through, so I'm just going to go over it again. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that one. Okay, so that's one little bowl. That's pretty cute. Okay, so we are doing some double time for the rest of this decorating as well. I'm just giving each bowl a little clean up so there's no bits of clay from the shaving. Sometimes it gets stuck to the side of it, so I'm just giving it a little wipe, make sure it's really clean. I don't want any fingerprints on it either. So this one I'm going to be doing a royal blue trim on, so this will be part of my Seaside range. The Seaside range is like blues and oranges, and then my forest range is greens and pinks. So I'm just adding this simple band onto the top again, making sure I've got it an inside and that the rim's really well covered. It has a matching plate, so all of these bowls will have a matching plate that has the same sort of decoration, just a simple colour, and then the mug will be the statement piece with the pattern that matches along with it. So I'm on quickly to the next bowl, giving it a little wipe as well. I will give them another wipe whenever I'm putting my maker's mark on, but that's just the main part, to make sure they're tidy and so that the strip of colour is on really neat and I don't have to worry about going too close to that when I'm wiping the bottom. I don't want to leave any wee marks onto it, I just want to be a perfect band. So this next one is green, it's the forest range, and it's a slip made up of chrome. So all of these slips are just different commercial stains or oxides that I have tested sort of the colour that I like and added them into the clay in a liquid form, and that way I get a really even and consistent colour through all of my pieces throughout the whole range. But that's all the bowls. I'm going to just do that simple little decoration for today. We'll get them in the kiln soon and get them partnered up with their matching plates and their little mugs as well. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll be making some jugs next time, so make sure to tune in and see a little bit more about how to make some more pottery. Again, if any questions or anything you'd like me to make or explain, just ask and I'll really try to help you out. So thanks so much and have a really good day. Bye.